ASMR, where you have access to ASMR with me, Max, and today I've got like an assortment of like candy wrappers that have obviously been eaten. I have been eating too much sweet stuff lately, but I was like, well, I just as well, make a video out of it because I have so many wrappers. I also wanted to have a little like movie slash like film ramble because I've been watching quite a few things at the moment, so I figured we could just like tap on some of these whilst I have a little ramble session. Also something that happened recently. I'm really just gonna ramble. Just let me do my thing. I hope you enjoy it. So my brother, he might be watching this right now. I don't know. But my brother, he recently moved for university, and we had to help him do that this week. So shout out to him. We went to the cinema as a family, and we saw. So first we saw The Long Walk. Now, The Long Walk felt like a long walk. I feel like I need to tap on something quieter because this is a little bit too obnoxious for when I'm also rambling at the same time. We'll come back to it. But we'll tap on these spirals. They're basically the same thing, but like just slightly different. Anyway, yeah, we watched The Long Walk. The Long Walk felt like a long walk. I cannot stress that enough. It was about this like lottery which like picked men from society to like go and partake in this long walk, which like the whole of like the country of America just like watched as like a spectacle. They had to go on this long walk to then like win like a prize at the end. I think it might have been a cash prize. I don't know. It's been a while. The catch is that to complete the long walk, you have to be the last man standing. Therefore, everybody else who takes part in the walk, basically, it's who can survive the longest. Like, if you like fall for like a matter of seconds, then you get shot by like the like wardens who are invigilating everything. If you get sick, and then you collapse, you get shot. And like, yeah, so basically it's just a battle for survival whilst walking the whole time. You can't even sleep. Like, the main guy in it was sleeping on his guy's friend's shoulder whilst walking at the same time, which I was a little bit like, how does that work? How do you sleep and walk at the same time? But maybe it was just so extreme that like their bodies were like adapting to like, walking and sleeping at the same time. I don't know. I felt like the movie was a little bit unrealistic because they were walking for like over 300 miles for a certain amount of like days. It was like a lot. Like, it was like an unbelievable amount, and obviously it's only a movie. Like, it doesn't have to be realistic. But it was a little bit like, I'm not buying it. Like, I don't know, like, and then I felt like there was like a certain amount of like cartoonishness that like the characters were kind of channeling. Like, it felt slightly, I don't know, like stereotypical. I don't know, like the characters just didn't really feel extremely believable to me. Like, I don't know, when I watch a movie I want to feel like I'm invested appreciate it was objectively good. It just wasn't for me. I think it was a very clever movie, but it just wasn't for me. Also, like, with it being the long walk, it documented like the whole long walk. So the scenery didn't really change that much because they were literally just like walking on just like a long road in America. So the scenery just wasn't really changing. And you know, you're used to, like, within movies, like, you're used to seeing a scene change after a certain amount of time. But it wasn't really working like that. So I was kind of tapped out. I was falling asleep. And I thought the ending was just a little bit like, because I'm not gonna lie, I am gonna drop a spoiler. They all die. I hate it when that happens in movies. They all died. So it kind of felt like, what was the point? But like, the movie had its own specific message, and all of that. So the movie was good, but it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me, and that's fine. But the next movie that I watched, also in cinema. I love going to the cinema. The next movie that I watched was literally yesterday. What was it again? Weapons. We watched Weapons. That one was way more enjoyable. Although I did have a slight gripe with it. It was still good. I didn't know what to expect when going into it. I thought it was going to be like a horror movie. But then my friends told me that there was like some comedy elements in it, and I was like, I hate it when movies like mix horror with comedy. I'm like, that is lost potential for a good horror movie, and I feel like that was what it was with this movie. I feel like it was lost potential for a really good horror movie, but it was a horror comedy. It's kind of started out like with more comedic elements, just like kind of scattered throughout, and it did feel like a horror movie at first. I was like, oh, like some of the jump scares like genuinely like got me in that cinema. To tell you like the premise of the movie, it was like there was this class of a certain amount of children, and then literally overnight they all just ran out of their homes all at the same time at 2:17 a.m. I remember that. And they ran out in like this really creepy way. They like had their like arms just like out, and it was like really weird. It was very, you know, like they were possessed to run at that amount, like that time. So the next day, only one student from that class turns up to the class, because I mean all the other kids had ran out of their houses at 2:17 a.m. and nobody knew where they were. So it ended up like unfolding. There was like this witch that like moved into the town. Very, very creepy lady. There was like this jump scare of the witch. She supernaturally like appears on the ceiling above where one of the characters was sleeping. It was actually terrifying. The witch in the movie had like very dramatic, like over the top makeup, almost kind of like Joker like, with like red lipstick, and a very like creepy wig as well. But back to the reason why there was only one child who turned up to the class, one child who was unaffected. So basically it turns out that the witch was this child's auntie, and to survive, because she was dying, to survive, she needed to possess her nephew's class of kids. So she got him to take a personal belonging of each of the students within his class, take them home with him, and then she managed to make a concoction of something, make a spell, and then it worked, and then all of the kids from this class ended up running into the witch's basement. And this movie sounds lame the way that I'm explaining it. It was good. If you watch it, it's way better. But yeah, basically, in the end, the witch's possession gets basically killed, and then the kids end up being possessed to kill her. It gets reversed, and the kids kill her. In the end, it was very gory. And then they're all kind of left affected. It was very weird. It was very weird. I didn't really know what to think of it when I got out of the movie. I was a little bit I was slightly mad because I was if this didn't have so many comedic elements in it, then I feel it would have been a great horror movie. If they went at it a slightly different angle, then I would have loved it. Because I don't really appreciate comedy that much. There are some comedy things that I like, but a lot of comedy just doesn't really hit to me. But I love horror. So yeah, I didn't think it was bad, but we got the Maltesers out. I didn't think it was bad, but maybe just not fully for me. But it was an entertaining watch, but I just wouldn't watch it again. That was a really bad explanation of that movie. I don't know, go watch it if you want to, and see what you feel about it. Tell me if you've watched either Weapons or The Long Walk. Let me know what you thought of it. Do we have the same opinion? I don't know, but let me know. Me and my mom just finished watching Adolescence tonight on Netflix. That was a very good show. Very good. All the episodes are in one take, which was super interesting to me. At first, I didn't know how to feel about it, within the first episode, because there's only 3 episodes in the series. But within the first episode, I did feel a little bit slightly bored. Just because the one take thing was kind of throwing me off a little bit. Because it felt like one continuous shot, because it was. I just didn't really feel that tapped into it. I felt bored. But as time went on, I gave it a chance, and I stuck with it, and I really loved it. It was really very interesting topic which was brought up as well. It really addresses the topic of toxic masculinity, and the dangers of children being influenced by bad influences online, and what it could lead children to do. In the show, there's a boy who ends up murdering a girl in his class. It was very issues. Like it was done extremely well, and I think it was addressed extremely well. Very sensitive topic. But yeah, no, it was 3 episodes, so it felt like, I mean, it was bingeable. Me and my mum literally just watched it in one night. And it felt like a continuous journey, which was really cool, actually. I think my favourite episode was probably the last episode, because it gave like the point of view of the family of the child murderer, and like kind of how they coped with, you know, creating, like they had to come to terms with that they created a murderer, but it's still their child. So they definitely felt extremely conflicted about it. It was very interesting. It felt very real as well. I think it was acted so well that it just felt very like believable and real. It was pretty big at like the start of the year, I think, so let me know if you watched that. Me and my mum only just got onto it, so, but it was a good watch, though. It was definitely a good watch. I also do have this peppermint arrow bar. I do love good. Oh, there's stuff coming out of it. Oh my god. I do love a good mint arrow. My favourite ice cream is like chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip, and this kind of gives like the similar kind of vibe to a mint chocolate chip ice cream, but in a chocolate, so it's perfect. You see, A-E-R-O, arrow, peppermint, peppermint. It's very good. It's very, very good. But yeah, I felt like I just wanted to give a ramble of some of the things that I've been watching, because that's always fun to talk about. It's always fun to talk about. Hoping that you guys are enjoying the videos. Thank you for all of your support. Of course, always, you've had access to ASMR with me, Max. And it's time to go. Go. Bye.